Hi everyone, welcome to How to Embroider on T-shirts. Happy Wednesday. Just pulling another project off the hoop. So we're going to wait for a few people to get in here and then I will get started in just a few minutes. I look forward to hearing, everyone's questions as far as embroidering on T-shirts. I've got my heat press ready, I've got my cutaway ready, and I am ready to go here in just a few minutes. So bear with everyone. I am going to just kind of finish up this design that I'm working on right now, and we will get started here soon. While I'm waiting on everyone, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I am working on. This is a tester for Applique Alley's new ZZ banner that's coming out here soon. Look at how cute this banner is, you guys. It's going to be paired with a goldfish here that I'm going to do in just a little bit, but this is also their new Sugar Cakes font from Applique Alley. It is very cute. It goes with everything. Okay, so I see that I have a couple people here. I'm going to go ahead and take off my glasses. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Okay, so we are going to learn how to embroider on T-shirts. First off, obviously, you need to pick your T-shirt. I am working on just a little toddler size, 5'6" tonight, nothing too crazy, but I want to let you guys know that the number one thing that's going to matter on a t-shirt or on a onesie or anything is the thickness of it. If you get something that's very thin, you're obviously going to need more stabilizer, but also it's going to pull, it's just not going to look right. You're going to get holes around your design, so make sure you find those thicker t-shirts. I love ARB blanks or BB blanks, but tonight I'm just using rabbit skins. I get them off Jiffy. They come in, I think, pretty much every size as far as a toddler t-shirt. So I will show you the design that I'm going to be working with tonight. I already have it split and ready to go in my machine. I am testing a new design for Coselli, and this is their Make Your Own Fiesta pack, and then I just added some fun little words here at the bottom. So nothing too crazy, but I already have it split. If you need to know how to split designs, please go back into my multiple repositional hoop tutorial. That'll teach you how to split the designs. I don't really want to go back through all that tonight since we're here to learn something new, but I do already have it split here in my system. As you can see, it wants me to start with the middle one, so that's the one I'm going to start with. Oh, I don't know what I did there. Okay, so first off, you guys are going to want to know how to hoop the t-shirt. Something that's very important and something that obviously if you don't do it right, your t-shirt's going to be all wonky, it's going to be crooked, different things going on. I use PE Design 10 for all of my digitization as well as adding fonts and just making it all work. So that's what I use. But okay, so this is the front of my t-shirt. I'm going to want the design to go right about here on the t-shirt. Obviously for kids, you don't want it to sit too short. Cutaway is the most important thing. A lot of people are going to use water soluble on top. You definitely can use water soluble. I don't. I pretty much only use that for terry cloth or towels, so it's completely your preference, but I don't think it's necessary. So I've got my 2 sheets of cutaway here. I'm using very thin cutaway, which is why I'm using 2, and I just know that this is a denser design. If you have some thicker cutaway, you can do whatever you want. You can play with it. Obviously, like I said earlier, the thinner the t-shirt, the thicker or the more of the cutaway you're going to want. Got my repositional hoop here. Now, to hoop this t-shirt, I am going to step back to my heat press. So you guys are going to see my back for just a second, and I apologize. But I always fold my t-shirts in half, and I will press it, and I fold it in half again. So you guys can see I'm going to fold it lengthwise, and then I'm going to fold it this. That way I can just kind of get that straight grid line. So give me just about 5 seconds to do that. And I just do a really, really, really light press on the shirt just to get those grid lines on. It really doesn't matter too much. As far as temperature, obviously you don't want to burn it, but just want to get those grid lines going. So now you guys can see I've got that grid line for this. This seems a little bit low for me for the toddler t-shirt where I would traditionally put it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to use that as a guideline for maybe where to put the bottom of the hoop. That way it all works out. Okay, looking at the computer, my design is going this way. So I want to make sure that the top of my hoop matches that. So this is how my hoop is going to go in the shirt. That way it goes this way and the design is turned correctly. Make sure you really pay attention to that, but that's obviously for every design. Okay, so I've got my hoop in here. It seems pretty flat. Might not be, so we'll get our stabilizer put in here, and then I'm going to use the grid. I know most people don't realize or use the grid that comes with their hoops, but that is a way to make sure that your design is straight. So let me find that grid. Okay, this is the grid that I'm talking about. This is what you're going to want to use whenever you hoop up multiple things at once, and this actually snaps down into the top of the hoop, so it makes it really easy to use. Okay, now I need to obviously make sure it's centered. I just kind of eyeball it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's a toddler tee. They're going to be moving a lot. It doesn't have to be completely perfect, but you can do whatever you want. I am going to push it a little bit closer to the top just because I know that when it drops down quite significantly from the hoop, and I don't want it sitting too low. Okay, so I'm trying to get this in here. Sometimes hoops can be a booger, so apologize. Go. Stand up, so sorry for the awkward shot here. There we go. Okay, now I have this hooped. I am barely pulling it just to make sure that there are no wrinkles in my shirt. Do not pull this a lot. If you pull these t-shirts, you guys, the design will pucker. It will not look right. Okay. So I've got this hooped, but let's see if it's straight. I'm going to use my grid, pop it in here. That looks pretty darn straight to me, not only in the shirt, from the tops, so I can hold it up and it looks almost completely even. So again, this is all just kind of eyeballing it. Some people, I'm a little OCD, so I kind of tend to get things straighter on the first try, but some people don't. Now, as far as putting this on the actual machine, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. I have posted a video on this as well, but I just kind of bunch it up like so, and I'm going to use some masking tape just to tape it out of the way. You can use as much masking tape or painter's tape or really anything that you want, but I will put, I know the design, because the hoops have that allowance, does not go all the way to the bottom of the hoop. So I will put some on the bottom of the hoop and then on that t-shirt just to kind of make sure that it's in place. These t-shirts are nice, this 5'6" size. It's pretty big. So it's not going to cause too much issues here when I'm trying to hoop. Now, the main thing, obviously you want to make sure you can get it in and out, but that nothing's underneath the hoop and that the hoop has full access, or that the embroidery machine has full access to all the way around the hoop. You guys, I have this little pucker here. This might cause an issue, or it might be close enough to the corner that I can use the tape to pull it back. We will certainly find out. And if this is a mess up, it either goes in the trash or I just post it for a super discounted price and let people buy it. That's kind of the beauty about this. Just mark it as an oops and let someone else kind of figure out what they want to do with it. Or sometimes I just give them to, like, there's a lot of buy nothing sites in my area, so I'll post them on those sites and let people let their kids play in them. I'm going to be completely honest. Okay, so this one, like I said, because it is a 5'6" and it's more out of the way, it looks like it really only needs 4 pieces of tape, which is pretty awesome. Sometimes you have to tape all the way around, but the main part is that you can actually see the hoop. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this on my machine, and it looks like I need to rethread my machine, so bear with me. Does anyone have any questions here while I am hooping this to get this started? I do not change my tension on my shirts. I keep it between a 4 and a 5. I might change it after the first thread color. We will see, but I rarely change tension. I don't like to mess with that part of the machine. It's very finicky and it can just not go well if you do that. So let me get this on here. This belongs in the middle, and I will go ahead and get this started and show you guys how great this is. Here is a t-shirt. Here's the first color for this fun little Fiesta shirt. And you can see the tension's pretty much right. We will find out here at the end of this embroidery process, but looks pretty good to me. It looks like it's supposed to look, which is always nice. So the main thing for t-shirts is, remember, you need your cutaway, 1 to 2 layers, sometimes maybe 3 layers, and then also pay attention in your hooping method. Like I said, I always press mine with a grid. I have a really cheap heat press. It was like 120 bucks on Amazon. But it does the job and just allows me to create those crisp lines so that way I can figure out exactly where I need to hoop it. I did this little guy earlier today because I'm testing out designs for designers today, and I put him on the side, and he's just a little baby 12-month t-shirt, and you can see where my hoop actually was. But I didn't even hoop this as well as I wanted to, because look at how much allowance it is, and I was trying to get it to sit on this seam. So it's always give and take. There's always challenges with it, but the thicker the material, the better. I do not recommend Wonderskins brand from Walmart that comes in a pack. I bought some of those to stitch on for some gifts, and they were so thin, they pulled so bad, I actually ended up throwing all those away and had to go buy more shirts, and that's never fun. But Jiffy Shirts has some pretty cheap toddler shirts. Like I said, I really like that Rabbit Skins brand, and then ARB Blanks or Blanks Boutique is who I use the most of. They're just really thick. That's who I use the most of for onesies, and really anything that I possibly can use, I try and buy from them. They have some of the cutest stuff too. I'm obsessed with their ruffle bibs. Do you guys have any questions? I know I never love watching people just embroider on their videos without answering questions. So are there any questions that you guys have while this is working on this for us? How's everyone's week going so far? Come on guys, don't be afraid to comment. I'd love to hear how your week's going. I know this machine's a little loud, but it helps kill the time. Yeah, you're fine. I use the PE Design 10. It's the Brother software. A lot of people use Brilliance, So What Pro, there's Hatch. There's some great other options out there. A lot of them have free trials, so just really kind of pick whatever one works best for you. But personally, I like the Brother. It just seems kind of be the most user-friendly for my needs, and it makes the most sense. And I like that I can use any font in my computer in this software, which you can't do in all of them. My machine does not have more than 2 hooks. I have the repositional hoop that I'm using, and there's another tutorial on that, but there's 4 hoops on it. That way you can have 1, 2, 3 sections of it, but I still have that just that standard 2 hoop little section going on. Did that make sense, Kelly? Oh, I'm almost doing the wrong color over here. Now I'm really confused about what colors I picked. Sorry, guys. Where's my other hoop at? Okay, pick this blue. So this little design that I'm doing right now, like I said earlier, is from Coselli. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I could be completely butchering that, but I would, if you guys do not already follow them, I would follow them because they do every once in a while designs of the week for free, and they're really cute. The largest hoop that I've ever used is this 4x6 3/4. It's the largest one you can use on this machine, but you can re-hoop multiple times with this hoop. The best stabilizer for onesies is the exact same that I'm using for cutaway because it's the same material. Just make sure you don't pull too tight, and you know, make sure that you have a thicker onesie. The thinner ones, the designs, especially dense designs, will rip holes in your onesie. For flannel baby blankets, I did a minky one earlier today, so that really, really soft plushy fabric. I definitely put water soluble on the top of that, and then I just did one layer of cutaway on the bottom, and it worked perfectly fine. Probably could have used 2 layers of water soluble just to help those designs float a little bit better. So I would probably do the same thing for flannel, just 1 layer of water soluble and then at least 1 layer of cutaway on the bottom. As far as watching or learning, I would definitely read the manual. If you do not read the manual, you're not going to understand anything. It stinks and it's boring and it's long, but you need to start with reading the manual. After you read the manual, if you really want to learn embroidery, there's great entry-level or beginning how-to tutorials on YouTube. Don't necessarily search for your machine. Your machine doesn't really matter necessarily, as long as you know how to thread it and you know how to, put the designs into it from the software. What really matters is that you have a single needle machine. So just search for entry-level single needle. So Kelly, go back and watch my repositional hoop tutorial. Those 4 little doohickeys are the things that are sticking out like you talk about. That's for the different positions. So the top 2 that you can use are for the top position, the middle 2 are for that middle position, and the bottom 2, or they kind of overlap, but the bottom 2 are for that bottom position. So you're going to want to go back and watch that tutorial because I explain each position and show you where it is on the machine as far as once that design is split. But a 600 and the 625 are essentially the exact same thing. So there's just a few extra design elements on the 625 and a kind of different screen, so you can follow along my tutorials just fine. Okay guys, this is really boring, but I'm going to show you the progress on this, and then if there's no more questions, I'll probably end this and just kind of show you guys how the end of this t-shirt works, because nothing's changing. Like I said, the most important thing is that you hoop correctly and you've got the right cutaway. Other than that, you just kind of got to dive in. I believe Dollar Tree has started offering some different kinds of shirts, so maybe start there and see if you guys have one in your area that offers it, but I always just kind of buy mine off Jiffy, or I get, I'll steal some of my old nasty t-shirts that don't really matter and practice on those. But like I've said before, in all of these groups, I recommend you stitch out every single new design on white cotton or white duck cloth, just something that's thicker, definitely not thin cotton, and see how it actually looks. Make sure it stitches right, make sure there's no glitches. Even those top designers can have glitches, and if you have those, then and you mess up on a t-shirt, it's a lot less forgiving on a t-shirt. So I always practice everything I can on white, just plain white fabric. And if you guys want to see my pile, I keep it at the top up here. But these are just a fraction of my designs that I have stitched out that I keep, and I'm eventually going to, and you guys can see I just dropped all of them on the floor, so that's gonna be fun to clean up. But I keep them all, and I'm gonna put them in a binder, so that way whenever I have clients that want to know kind of what it is I can do, or if I have some designs that I don't necessarily have posted and they want to see them, they'll have access to them. So white fabric is perfect, and it tells me tension issues. It tells me, maybe I didn't use the right kind of cutaway or right kind of stabilizer. So I always recommend stitching everything out. Are there any other questions before I end this and then just post the t-shirt at the end? Okay, I hate Gerber. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Gerber is very, very thin. Let me see if I can find one in my pile. I haven't tried Carter's. Wonderskin, Wonder Nation. These are the ones from Walmart. You guys can see how thin these are. They are almost completely see-through. These are a pain to stitch on, which is why I only have 2 left. The Amazon Essentials one's better, but the Amazon Essential ones have a lot of stretch. So if you stretch those too much, they are going to fall apart. So here is one of my ARBs that I have that are extra. Let me show you. Look at this, guys. Look at how thick and glorious these onesies are. They're not going to distort. They're amazing. And for these gowns have zippers on the side for hooping issues, so you can hoop a whole lot easier. Highly recommend them in Blanks Boutique. If you have white bobbin thread, you probably do not either have the right needle or the right stabilizer. If there's any kind of stabilizer questions, there's a stabilizer chart that I have posted in the albums. That's where I would start. it breaks down probably 20 different types of fabric for you guys to show what kind of stabilizer and needles are best for that. I never change my needle. I'm going to be completely honest. I only use the 7-Eleven needles unless I am doing denim or something that's super thick. I might change it, but 99.9% of the time I always use that universal needle. And yes, Walmart onesies for the Cricut. That's what I have them for too, and unfortunately all my blanks are together, but it makes things a whole lot easier. Are there any other questions that you guys might have? Because I will keep this going as long as you guys have questions. That gown is ARB, which it's just ARB blanks. If you guys search for that, you will be able to find it. They're a great brand. They ship super quick. The more you buy from them too, the better discounts you get. But their prices aren't terrible. You do have to pay for shipping. That's the only negative about them, is they don't really have free shipping. But they've even started doing some sublimation blanks. If any of you guys do sublimations, they're just great. They're thick. They've got some of the cutest little rompers and gowns and bibs and everything you can think of. They're really good, and they even have some adult clothing too, so it's kind of a good one-stop shop. Jiffy Shirts is another great place to go for cheap and very, very, very fast shipping. I ordered shipping on Monday and got them on Tuesday, and I did pay the shipping price, but it was like $6 for $40 worth of stuff, so not that bad, and definitely easy to split out over the cost. So are there any other questions? Like I said, I'll keep this going as long as questions are happening. Otherwise, I will just post you guys some pictures of what this ends up looking like. Okay guys, well, I really appreciate you taking your time. As soon as the shirt's done, I will post the pictures of it, and I'm happy to answer any other questions for you guys. Oh, I just knotted my needle, so that's going to be a little bit, but I will get this done. Let me know if you guys need anything. Otherwise, I will see you guys in a couple of weeks when we learn how to embroider on bibs. You guys have a great weekend and the rest of your week. And like I said, I'll post pictures and be happy to do this. As soon as I hit save, Susan, this will be available for you to go back to the very beginning. So here in about 20 seconds. You guys have a great day, and I will finish this up now. Thank you.